Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Hey folks, welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And people are stacking up.
Well, that's good. We've got an excellent guest tonight, and it's going to be a fun show for sure. So,
Yeah,
how you
lots of
doing,
good
Jeff?
stuff. I'm doing good, real good. It's going to be a good night tonight. We got one of the most pleasant guests we ever have on tonight. One of the most knowledgeable and innovative. I see Big Poppy just joined the chat. So it should be a good night. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yes, for sure.
So what's
And,
your weather down there today? Mine was nice here today, about 80.
yeah, we're probably in the mid 80s. It was nice and warm. Yesterday we did the West State Archaeological Society's hunt and picnic, and I actually did the seated hunt, which I normally don't do.
Uh-huh.
But I got like 11 silver dimes and I think 40 quarters, but they weren't silver; they were just clad quarters. So
Oh, well, you're still taking Jocelyn for dinner then, right?
yes, and I got I dug up an Easter egg, and it was a prize for $10. So I
Oh,
made out like a
good.
bandit yesterday.
Yeah, that's good. That is good. So what's the update on the Mind Lab product? Well, before we go with the guest?
Right now in stock, I have the 600, 700, 800, and 900s. For how long, I don't know. I
You sold
also
out
have
the Xterra?
the Xterra Pro. I have those in stock, mostly because I haven't put them on my website yet. So that'll probably happen tomorrow, and they'll probably fly out of here because at that price, they're an excellent little unit.
Yeah.
Really
They
is.
are. Any word on anything the Nocta coils?
Not the coils, no word on them yet. I'll post that when I find out. They haven't shipped from Turkey yet, so
Well, there'll be a couple of weeks then. Of course, a lot of
yeah, I
times
would
they
think
air.
so. I would think it'd be in a few weeks for sure.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time they send it by air, don't they?
A lot of times they do because they just get so much demand for them. They just pay the money and send them over by air to get them here quick.
Well, that's kind of a nice thing for you.
Yes.
You know what I think we ought to do in July? We ought to have a couple of shows where if all y'all out there, if you got a metal detecting club and you want your club on the show, get up with us. Send us an email at treasuretalkshow@gmail.com, and we'll see about that. We'll have two shows where we'll have a different metal detecting club from all around the country or anywhere in the world, and we can compare notes about metal detecting clubs.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Very interesting. Well, I guess I better get rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to remind folks that Jocelyn is over on Treasure Talk Facebook page. So if you have a question on Facebook, and she's also, I think, trying to follow on YouTube.
I just saw her on YouTube.
Was she? Okay. So
Yeah.
she's got that figured out. So if you have any questions or you want to say hello to Jocelyn, you can do that. All right, my friends. Today's show, of course, is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the Treasure Talk guest and member belong solely to guest and member, not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Mona.
Yes.
That's a fast one. And the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner.
Yes, indeedy. It's indeedy. It is. So we might as well get on with it, hadn't we?
Yes.
So tonight, our guest, Ryan Fazekas of Anderson Shafts, where Quality and innovation is the name of the game. And I have to tell you, they've been making quality products for quite a while now, and they continue to innovate. And anything they come out with, you can rest assured it is of the utmost quality, because they don't bring anything out until it's been tested, because they are detectorists and treasure hunters in their own right. So lots of good stuff happening. And let's bring on Ryan Fazekas Anderson, Detector Shafts. Hello, Ryan.
How's it going?
Hey Ryan, how are we doing today?
Good.
So tell everyone where you're at and the temperature was today.
It was kind of a miserable day, just kind of overcast, a little bit of drizzle, a little bit of snowflakes. It's just not good. This time of year, we get some decent days and then some cold days, and it's kind of a mix.
Okay. Now tell the folks where you're at.
We're located in Fort Erie, Ontario, which is right on the border of Buffalo, New York.
Okay, right across the border.
Right across the border. Two-minute drive.
2-minute drive. So what was the temperature today?
I don't know. It was hovering around probably the 40s.
40s.
Well, that's better
than
in the 10s.
Yeah, it's a little warmer here, right, Jeff?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's sunny. It's supposed to be rainy tomorrow, though.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll probably see it the next day after that, but when the cold front comes through. But yeah, it's been in the 80s here today, so we're staying nice and warm. So it's starting to get to be beach weather. We had a metal detecting club hunt on the beach yesterday, and the water looked good, a little rough, but it was a lot of people on the beach, so it's getting to be beach season for sure.
It won't be long. I'll probably come down in probably July.
Awesome. Then you'll be really warm then.
Well, that's all right, because I'll be neck deep in the water.
Yes, and we've had now, Ryan, I know you were over in Daytona. Did you have any red tide over there?
No, not on that side, but I heard on the Gulf side there was
a little bit of red tide, but yesterday it must have been all blown out because there wasn't any. So I think that's just something we're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, and it's coming quite a bit more often than it was.
Yes. I think it's because of all the pollutants getting in the water myself, but it's a natural occurrence. So hopefully they'll figure it out.
Does it usually come that early in the season?
No, this year it seemed to be earlier, but I think the water temperatures heated up quicker this year.
It could be, because let's hope we don't get another bout with it a little later.
Yes, or another real bad one, where the water is actually a tea or a brown color.
That's bad.
Oh, it's horrendous.
And I heard that Clearwater even got hit with it pretty bad this time.
Yes.
Which it didn't the last time when I was down there. We had to hunt at Clearwater every day because of the red tide, and then it came in just a little bit the last day. So.
Yeah, I just saw on the YouTube channel the Digging Canucks said hello to all of us.
Yep.
So
she did.
Cool. All right. Well, let's talk about Anderson detector shafts.
All kinds of stuff they got, and I know, Ryan, that the shafts you make for the Deus 2 has got to be a hot seller for you.
Yeah, we did sell a lot of those when that machine came out. But we've been making the same parts and pieces for almost 18 years now. So a lot of things are the same. We're very fortunate that our products have had a long shelf life. But that's kind of one of the topics I thought we could get into is, all these new machines that are coming out. It's just
I got it.
Easy.
Yeah, it's just it's unbelievable, and you can't keep up and make something for every machine.
No, not that we want to. Our thing is that we listen to customers and wait for where the shortcomings are, and there's problems or breakage or adjustability and stuff like that. And it's so we had a couple comments from customers and they're like, oh, the the new 700 and 900 are a carbon fiber shaft. You guys must be upset about that. And it's like, no, we're not. That's great that they're finally innovating and adding those things to the machines. Like, that's what people want. And that's what always people would ask us, is like, why don't they do this? And it's like, well, it's the cost thing. But finally they're getting on board with that. And
Yeah. I do have a comment from Tom Becker, and he's saying, "Hi, Ryan. You do have great quality products. Can you tell me what improvements you've made on your shafts for the Deus 2 versus the stock shaft? Example, where the control panel mounts, etc." Justin just sent me that one.
Yeah, the biggest complaint we were getting from people on that was that, like, the flex, a lot of flex in the shaft and stuff like that, especially when using it in the water.
Yep.
Yes, there was a couple of people that broke them and stuff. So I think the biggest pro is that it's the stiffness of the shaft and the
Yes.
adjustability.
Oh, that's a good question. Jocelyn's yelling me questions over here. Are you guys making any lower shafts for that 700 or 900?
Again, we're just kind of waiting. Like, we're not one to just make something for everything. It's obviously it's work and tooling, and we just don't want to. If the factory product's fine, then why bother? It's I know some people are going to want maybe replacements or having multiple lowers to have things prepped up. So it's something that we're definitely looking at. That was, like, we were just speaking before we got on about my trip down to Florida there, and I actually got a chance to use the 900 just to see myself how the factory shaft and how everything was, and the difference between the other Equinox machines. And so, yeah, it's like I said, we'll have to wait and see
Well,
where things go.
yeah, tell us your thoughts on the 900.
Yeah, I was only using it for a week, and I was just kind of off and on between doing the tourist thing and family time and that. But yeah, I dug some deep targets. That's the thing. Like, here where I detect, if you go out and there's one person or two, like, that's like pretty amazing. Like, my wife was like, "Oh my gosh, there's somebody down here detecting. You can go talk to them." But in Florida, it's like every day I was talking to a lot of different detectorists, which was really great. I could get to talk to them and see what machines they were using and talk about finds and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that I was trying to determine whether if it has more depth, but because I couldn't compare it to in my local area where we usually detect, it's kind of hard to determine right now how it's gonna balance out.
Are you guys going to make any products for any of the Nocta Simplexes or Legend?
There hasn't been a lot of requests for it. Once in a while, we'll get somebody looking for lowers or something like that, but it's not I don't think a huge demand item for us. They must have.
Not enough to tool up for.
Yeah. And that's the other question. Like, we all of our parts, like, we get inquiries all the time where people are asking us how we're manufacturing our parts, and they say, "Oh, do you 3D print your stuff?" And it's like, no, like, none of the stuff that we produce is 3D printed or rapid kind of stuff like that. It's great technology, and we use 3D printing in house when we're doing product development and for doing modeling and for fixturing and stuff like that. But all of our stuff is like, glass reinforced, injected molded parts, like our lowers and stuff like that. Like, it's all properly made on large industrial machines.
And that's kind of one of the reasons why there are people out there that copy Anderson products.
Yeah, that was. I know that was another conversation. Everybody always tries to bring me the bad news, and Phil had an amazing product development idea with the handle, and yeah, there has been a couple copies of it, and I'm flattered. It's great. It's nice, you know what I mean, to see people love it so much that they want to jump on it. We'll see, because we're working on the other sizes for the other handles. So ours will be available, because our handles, even now, we have 5 sizes of handles: 1 1/8, quarter, 36 mil, 1 3/8, and 1.5 inches. So we'll have those this year available for all of those, probably.
Yeah, looks like Phil must have pressed some kind of a button, and he did himself in.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. I think a lot of even the technology and the detectors, it's one of those things where if it's not protected and it's not got any kind of things backing it, it's good. It keeps everybody competitive. I think that's why there's such a rapid increase in the technology and the development of detectors right now, is just because everybody's pushing each other.
Yeah, they are, and that's the good thing for the consumer. Just like what button did you hit, Phil?
No, we had some technical difficulties over here. That one wasn't my fault. But let's keep going.
Yeah, so it's really a great time in this industry and this hobby, to have the technology available, and for, like I said, things are just going so rapid. And that's why we talked briefly about, before we came on, about what we have new coming out. And this year we've kind of decided to just kind of sit back a little bit and kind of see what bubbles up, see what happens. We've just dealt with a couple of years of the pandemic and price increases and stuff like that. So we're concentrating on, not doing price increases on our stuff. We've been working on, packaging, technology, new machines for our side of the manufacturing.
Yeah.
We're trying to continue to do as much stuff in-house as possible.
Well, when you get comments like Anderson's Neptune scoop handle is awesome, which it is, you've pretty much set the standard, the industry standard, in a number of areas.
Yeah, and again, we started off with one size when we first started making the handles, but everybody keeps looking for different sizes for different scoops for different applications.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, now we're up to 5 different sizes, and you'll know what you're getting if you bought another one of our handles. You're going to get the same quality, the same construction in the different sizes, whether it's a one-piece travel.
I just had a question there, how long the handle is, and it looks like Jeff got it too. But that handle is, I guess, 46 inches, isn't it?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, a little bit longer on the travel version because of the color.
Now you can do custom handles if somebody needs one, right? All right.
Oh yeah, and we do a lot of custom products for customers that have special requests for different things.
Yeah, I mean, you got people like Phil, who's like a Jolly Green Giant, where he'd need a real long one, and then you have somebody that's really may not need one that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, different travel handles, 3-piece handles, longer handles, stuff like that. Same with the shafts. We've had requests for longer, lower rods. We've done some custom rigs for some professional treasure divers and stuff like that have requested.
How about custom colors on the handles?
Yeah, we've done some custom stuff in the past. There's some stuff we've done for some YouTubers and stuff like that too. I haven't seen it online yet, but it'll be pretty neat when it comes out. We did some custom wraps and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're always open
too, isn't it?
We're always open to help people out if that's really what they want. We did one early this year. Went off to Germany. The fellow wanted a few X-Cal shafts done up in some custom colors for himself and his wife. So it wasn't cheap, but he wanted them and he got them.
Okay.
Now we got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, from a Facebook user, as it says, do you sell a D handle for your Neptune shaft?
A T handle? A D, not a D. No D's.
Okay. Okay, 'cause that's what they wanted. Because I'm thinking they probably, there's been some of them out there with scoops that put a D handle on it, and they use a shovel handle for their scoop, and they like it that way. What I would do is I would show them the lift handle.
The pull handle.
That's what I would put on it.
Yeah, we call it T grip, T handle.
Yeah, and that's what I've got on both my scoops.
Yeah, that's an excellent product that you don't have to worry about it breaking like the Modus. I've had people crack those, and
Mhm.
that eliminates that problem completely. I've sold quite a few of those to people who had Modus. Modus is a good handle, but it lasts a year or two, and then if you were rough on it, it would break. So
Mhm.
that's perfect, and I like the attachment, how it's so easy to install that. I always tell the people take that Allen wrench with them the first time they use it, and make sure the location they put it is perfect.
Yeah.
I keep an Allen wrench in my pouch. Simply for the fact is, if you're digging a lot of targets and you're in the water and you're digging heavy scoops full, it pays to tighten it up from time to time. And the best thing about that handle, Ryan, is the way you had it angled. Just that little bit of an angle that makes it so much easier to get
That's the
right
secret.
to bring that scoop up.
For sure. And I did want to show I wanted to show the pouch.
The pouch, yeah. I actually took a bunch of those down with me to Florida and gave them to some of the local detectorists. I was talking to one gentleman. He was fairly new, and he was detecting, and he was putting his finds in his pocket. And I said, "You need a pouch?" So I gave him a pouch. And,
Yeah, the pouch serves two purposes. It's got two pockets, one for the good stuff and one for the bad stuff, and your bottle of water. So you got to tell the new people to use the pouch, because a lot of times the new people aren't filling their holes and aren't putting their trash in their pouch. So we got to do a better job of training them so they make sure they take their trash with them for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found that when I was detecting in Daytona there that I didn't get a lot of trash, like compared to where I detect here. It was mostly coins, a lot of pennies. That's one thing here. We don't have pennies anymore, so it's kind of nice that you rarely dig pennies at like fresh drops on the beach anymore here. But down there, quite a few pennies, a lot of quarters and change and stuff like that. So it was nice. It was nice. Long walks with not a lot of targets, but it was enjoyable.
Get a lot of pull tabs down there. But after you get more up towards the seawall, where the sand is a little looser in the dry sand area, you'll find a lot more trash. But Daytona's sand is completely different than anywhere else. It's very sticky and hard packed sand. They drive on the beach, so that alleviates a lot of the the little bits of foil and stuff like that. You see more trash sitting on top of the sand. But we have a question from Brad Wilson.
I got it. Can a carbon fiber shaft be made square? Just wondering if it would help in the rotating issues or not. And let me answer that a little bit first. If you're using the Anderson shaft, you've got that push pin also, so it shouldn't rotate at all, because you have the push pin and you have the little screw to lock it in place.
I think he's talking about a scoop handle, isn't it?
Is that what you're talking about?
I think he's talking about a scoop handle.
Of course, yeah. The problem with that, it just wouldn't be very aerodynamic in the water, pushing a square in the water. But yeah, that's, people have asked why we still include like the push pin, but for us, it just alleviates that rotation. And that was one of the things I kind of found annoying on the 900 is, each morning when I was going out, I'd have to kind of find where I had it. But I guess you could mark it with paint or something like that. But I kind of get used to where I have it set, and I like having that length. So that's why with ours, like you've got those pins, so it locks in. It's not going to rotate on you. You can remember where things are, but I know
Yeah.
a lot of the other shaft manufacturers and stuff like that, they've just kind of got a quick release, so it's kind of you can kind of loosen up and. But
Yeah, I think the push pin is a nice feature. I like it, and uh, I um, I like the plastic push pin, so you never have to worry about them rusting on you. So
mhm.
that's nice. I guess we already talked about John Davis' question. Do you sell a D handle for the Neptune? Did we cover that one already?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
They do
or
not.
maybe it's something, again, it's something that we can easily do. It's you know if that many people use D handles and prefer that, then maybe it's something we can look at.
But if somebody wanted you to custom make one for them, you could do that as well. All right.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So, Tom Becker, if you want a D handle, um, call up Ryan, send him an email, and you guys can discuss it.
Maybe a new product.
Dominating people on the planet Earth.
Yeah. So I've watched people use like the D handle that's similar to this. They put it on the back of the scoop so that when their scoop is angled down, I guess I've watched YouTube videos of people in the Northeast in the wintertime, and they're using that D handle on the back of the scoop, pulling up. But I haven't had any requests here in the shop other than what's on the feed here today. So
Yeah, there's lots of different detecting styles. Again, I noticed that when I was down in Florida. Some people got a pretty high swing or a pretty fast swing or pretty
Yeah,
wild.
you see some high swingers.
I don't know what they were looking for, but I don't know if they would find it.
What area of a Daytona were you hunting on?
I don't know what. It's just we were by the pier.
Okay, yeah. What hotel were you at?
What was it?
no, but I'll look it up.
I can't remember. The Wyndham?
Okay, yeah, the Wyndham. Yeah, I usually stay right next to the Wyndham at the Diamond Resorts.
Yeah, it was
Right
nice.
there, you got the Hilton and the pier. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there.
Hey,
Yeah.
I do have a question here from Jim Bighorn. He says, I swing a White's XLT on occasion. Does the 24-inch White's lower work with the XLT shaft?
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
Okay. So it should do it.
Send us an email. We'll confirm. But yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. There's still a lot. Like it's funny. Like there's still a lot of people that are using white machines, and like there's a like even on our website we have a lot of products that people would call obsolete, but it's amazing what we ship globally to other countries and what other people are using. And I don't know if it's just because they're comfortable with it or what it is, but again, there's you wouldn't think that we'd be selling many White's lower rods, but we do. So
Yeah, and the White's lower rod, I think most of their lowers on all their land detectors are probably the same, and also on their Beach Hunter ID and the White's kept all their lower rods, I think, the same for all their detectors.
right.
And there's a lot of folks, I think, who still use the White's product and they know it and they just don't want to change to something new.
Mm-hmm.
I see that happen a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's I don't know. Then that's I think one of the good things is to stick with the machines that There's I find that there's a lot of people hopping between machines right now. It's crazy. As soon as the new machine comes out, they're selling their old one, and that they haven't even learned and buying the next greatest thing. I know it's
Yeah.
probably good for you, Phil, to have that repeat customer business, but
Yes.
I always tell people, like learn your machine and don't hop to the next thing just because it's out and your buddy's got it. I've
Yeah,
found something with every machine that I've owned. Like they've all
yeah,
been
for sure. And I see Jocelyn gave me this question, and Jeff, you have it too. Surfside Dan says he needs a waterproof pocket for his keys and wallet in his pouch. Anything like that on the horizon?
Just get to yourself a Ziploc bag.
And I would double Ziploc it for me. I'm too scared to put my cell phone in my pocket.
Yeah.
Take
I know
in-
some of the newer phones are waterproof in that, but I usually don't bring anything out with me. I just less to lose.
That's true. We find enough of the cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Martin
know.
Bishop says, do you have anything planned for the Xterra?
Yeah, it's too new. I don't know. It looks pretty awesome. Like for I don't want to say it's an entry level machine, but I don't know where that machine fits in. But it looks pretty cool.
I think
know,
it's
it's-
Lab's answer to the Simplex.
It seems to me like it's single frequency. It would, it is their answer to the Simplex. A
Mhm.
carbon fiber shaft, I don't think would be too hard to make for it, except for it's on the, it mounts like the Equinox, but it's on like a square upper.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to come up with something to, some type of adapter to put it onto your Equinox carbon fiber shaft.
Yeah. And again, like some of those machines, like we're not trying to produce something for all the machines. It's not our thing. Some of those entry level machines and that, people might have them as a backup machine or an entry level machine, like you said. So they're not going to go and load up on accessories. It's more, the machines that people have had for many years. And we've had like repeat customers that have bought a shaft off us 15 years ago, and they're looking to buy, replacement parts because they're freshening up their whole setup, sending the machine out, getting new coil cables on it, new coil on it, new headphones on it. That's the nice thing, like the XCals. Like I still use my XCals. That's what I had. I brought two down with me, Daytona. I love them. Like I've got one with a lock on it, and then one with a lock on it. But I've got another one set up, and still a great machine.
Oh yeah, it's very popular for sure.
Have you tried the
Almost
Days
on
2
one
yet?
Saturday.
No, I haven't. I haven't tried the 2 yet. I heard people are happy with it.
Oh, we are very happy. Very, very happy. It works extremely well in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you have an Anderson shaft.
Don't you, Ryan?
What's that?
You're making a dive shaft for the Days 2, correct?
Oh yeah. We sold a ton of those overseas right away because there's a lot of there's like a detectors that don't even do land stuff at all. Like they just die. So I guess the way that collapses is just they weren't happy with how that all folded up and it's kind of in your face and all that. So yeah, we've got a scuba shaft for that or a 3-piece. That's the nice thing about our 3-piece, like our travel shafts. Like you can take off the lower shaft and then you have virtually a scuba shaft. So like our XCal over under travel, which is one of our top selling shafts, is just that. You can take that if you're traveling. Like when Steve and I go away, we bring those shafts. It's great. We can do stuff in the evening and stuff on the beach or in the early morning, and then you can slip that piece off and then convert it to a dive shaft in a couple seconds, and away you go.
Was the Z-Man down there in Daytona with you?
No. Steve wasn't with us. It was our March break, so just a family trip, just to get somewhere warm for a week.
Well, I think it was a little warm for you. It wasn't real warm, I don't think, but
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like, we had a couple beautiful days, and yeah, we couldn't complain at all. It was
that's
nice.
good. That's good. I'm glad you had a good time. It's always nice to get the kids and let them, get rid of some of that energy.
Well, I know we talked a little bit about your handles, but we don't have the Motley scoops in yet, but when we do, we've got the Anderson handles ready for them.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that was one of the new sizes. Yeah, last year. So that 36 mil, that'll fit the Motley.
Now, my question was, will these fit it?
That won't fit, but again, we're going to have them available for all sizes. So
Yeah, what sizes do you have available for those right now? Just to,
it's just the one size right now.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
How soon do you think it'll be before you make the other sizes?
We've got all the files. It's just machine time. So the machine's been running. I just shut it off before the show. We've been running it steady, cranking out parts. So that's one of the things we're looking at this year, getting some more milling centers in here, because we're chewing through a ton of aluminum. For anybody that doesn't know, that's the process. I know we talked briefly, we were going to maybe do like a shop tour and stuff like that, but we didn't have enough time to do a video for that. Maybe next time we'll have time to put something together. But
I'll make sure I get up with you in plenty of time for that, because I believe everybody would absolutely love that.
yeah, anybody that ever stops by here is amazed. They don't even know what we really make here.
Yeah, they have no
My
idea.
family and stuff that come by here, it's interesting because we start off with big chunks. Well, we start off with bars of aluminum, which is billet, aluminum that's made for anything for manufacturing. A lot of the stuff in the world is made, from stock. It's just like woodworking. This would be, like a 2x4, and then it gets cut down into pieces that are, chunky, solid, and then it goes in the machine and gets whittled away to sometimes about a tenth of the weight, and then after that it goes out for post-processing for anodizing, and that's powder coating and stuff. We do with all that in-house, but anodizing we don't do much in-house yet, but then it goes out and gets the anodizing on it. So it's made.
There's a lot of steps.
There is, yeah. There's a lot of steps, and the nice thing is, the machines are cranking out, so they can run nonstop. Just keep loading them, and
Cool.
Well, see, that's the good thing about that is, right, is most people, they have no clue what it takes to make a product. Like, all right, we'll just say the T handle. They have no clue what goes into making that, and the research and the trial and everything like that. And even with the carbon fiber scoop handle, a lot of them just think you just get a big thing of carbon fiber in and start whacking it off and putting a grip on it.
it'd be nice.
It's really that easy.
Yeah, it don't work. It ain't that quick. Well, we did have another question, and someone's asking me, and I'll give them an update. Any word? I guess it's Sam is asking any word on the Manticores, and we've been seeing them like one at a time for the past month or so. So I talked with Debbie a couple days ago, and they're still, I guess, in the works trying to make them, but I don't know what their deal is, because they came out with the Xterra Pros, and we got plenty of them today, and we have plenty 900s, but I hear that the 900s are out of stock also. So if you're thinking about getting a 900, get it quick. I think we've got 10 of them in stock, and we have some 700s are readily available. So I don't know what the deal is.
So what's the feeling on the Manticore?
It's pretty impressive, but I don't know when we're going to see a bunch of them. I haven't got a chance to hunt with it, because as soon as I get one in, it goes out the door. I don't keep it for myself. I guess I should do that. I've been saying I've been going to do that for the past 3 months, but I just haven't done it.
Customers first, right?
Yeah, customers first. Yeah, they want it, and there's some cool features on it. I think the beach hunters love them, but I think the guys who hunt iron are griping about some falsing and heavy iron.
I think they were falsing in the surf as well.
Falsing in the surf. I didn't hear that, Jeff.
Yeah, I think so. I've been hearing some of that.
So they're probably going to do a new firmware, I bet.
Yeah, that's what we gotta wait for the bugs to be worked out.
Yeah, the firmware updates on it for sure. But I think it's a good product, so we'll see. and we'll see about the waterproof ability of them, because now they're 16 feet, whereas your Deus 2 is, if you put the plug in, is 60 feet. So, compared to the 800s being at 10 feet, I know you guys took yours deeper than that, didn't you?
Yeah, I've used mine at 20 feet number
Okay.
of times, and I've got two 800s, and knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with water on those. And I know I see on the forums and that sometimes like people have had like just a rash of bad luck. Like they take it in the water once and they leak. And I try to take care of my gear as much as possible, but I don't baby it in any way. To me they're kind of disposable. Like if you're finding stuff and you're out hunting, like they're gonna wear, you're gonna break stuff, you're gonna, smash them up. But I keep a few machines in rotation and always have a backup. But yeah, I feel bad for some people that buy a brand new machine and then the first time they take it out, they get a leak or water behind the screen or something like that.
Yeah, that's a terrible day when you buy a new detector and that happens, and I have seen that happen. Now, I haven't seen anything with the 700s or the 900s yet,
Mhm.
so I'm hoping those issues are taken care of, and they are waterproof out at 16 feet. So theoretically, one would think they're more waterproof than something that's waterproof 10 feet.
Yeah,
So,
if they're advertising, 16 feet, that they've tested it pressure wise beyond that, right? Because there's
right,
people like me that are going to take 30 feet.
yeah,
But yeah, and and those machines are hard. You really can't work on them yourself the way that they're manufactured. They're all kind of sealed and shut. At least with the Excals, you can take an Excalibur apart and fix pieces inside. But
yeah. And I think they don't even fix them themselves. I think if you get a leak issue, they just send you a new unit.
yeah, it's probably just as easy.
Yeah. They want me to shut up, Josh? Is that what you said? It's banner time. Justin's telling me that everybody on the feeds that want Bill to shut up so we can pull a prize. Is that what we're doing?
I didn't see that at all, but that's what we're fixing to do.
We're
Yeah.
fixing to do it. But I wanted to thank you, Ryan, for doing that. The drawing that you're doing, it's always a cool one. I wish I was in the drawing for it because I guess it's anything on your website.
Yeah, dealer, winner's choice. Last thing I want is somebody to win something that they don't want.
Yes.
So we could maybe draw a couple, like if you want to do that, and then we could also do like an Anderson prize pack that's, like a hat, shirt, and pouch.
Okay.
If the winner just lets us know, they could pick a shirt design off the website and a hat, and we'll send that out too.
So how many you want to do? You want to do two
Yeah,
winners?
So
Do
one
one
off
winner
the website. Go ahead, Jeff.
We do one winner for anything in the catalog, and then one winner for a shirt and a hat.
Yeah, like we'll do a shirt, hat, and a pouch.
Okay.
Perfect. They'll be styling and profiling of Anderson products.
That's right. That's right. So what we did, everybody knows you have to be a member of Treasure Talk YouTube to get in on these giveaways. You have to be tuned in to win. You have to enter a phrase, and tonight's phrase was Anderson Shaft's quality and innovation. So once your name is called, and only if your name is called, please, you must text at my phone number within 3 minutes with your name and you are here. If you don't put your name, I'm not going to recognize it. So you got to put your name and you are here within 3 minutes. Then after I recognize the winners, I'll tell you what else you have to do. So I'm going to draw two names. The first name is for the anything on Anderson's website. Okay? So, J Metal Detecting, you've got 3 minutes to text with your name and you are here. Okay, so we'll get that and then we'll do the other one.
And we had a comment on the feed. Nick Haas says he wants the patch, Anderson patch in the swag pack. He likes the Anderson patch. It looks like Ryan might be getting one.
He might be.
That's it. That's cool.
No problem.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you got any detecting trips set anytime soon?
Nothing booked. Always open for opportunities.
Okay. And how about any hunts? You doing any hunts?
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna be going on this year. If there's gonna be anything local. I'm not a big land hunter, but usually like showing up at events and stuff like that and just supporting the community.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple local clubs down this way as well that have some beach hunts and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's where I was at on Sunday. We had a local hunt, a local club here in Tampa, and I did that on Sunday. I normally don't do the competition hunt or the seated hunt rather, but I did it this time. Got quite a few coins, so it was fun.
good practice.
Oh yeah, for sure. You just got to be fast, because nothing's deep. Everything's like a 1/4 inch deep, dropped in the sand. Hey Jeff, we get a winner?
No, hadn't done anything yet, so he must not be watching. So I'm going to give him 1 more minute, and then I'm calling another name.
Okay.
For the name drawn for the pouch and the patch and the hat is Dirty Paws Detecting. So you do the text. Dirty Paws Detecting.
Yeah, cool.
Bill, are you popping buttons over there?
No, why?
Because you're flickering.
Oh, weird.
Like a candle in the wind, dude.
I was looking at the live feed on the on my cell phone because I can't see it on my laptop because it's too far away from me to see. My
Right.
glasses aren't that strong.
Okay, now for the main prize. The Jade Metal Detecting is not here. So please, if you are there, you won the big prize. Anything from Anderson Shaft's website, do the text.
And I didn't hear who that was, Jeff. Can you repeat that?
Sam Truckley.
Sam Truckley. We had a question from him, so he should be there.
Yep. And Dirty Paws Detecting just answered. So now Dirty email. I'll put the email up here. And with your name, address, phone number, and shirt size.
So, what's your when you're detecting along there in the ocean, and what is your style? Like I was mostly kind of chasing the tide and kind of going in and out. Do you guys are you usually in the water more, or do you do the towel line, or worry about the tide?
I tried to go the real low tide this time of year when the water's still a little chilly. The negative tides, just hunt the wet sand. I don't like doing the towel line. I don't like doing the loose sand. I don't like walking in. It's too taxing on me. Only time I'll do that is if the water is rough and I have no choice. But I would rather do the wet sand when the water's way out because I can work a nice search pattern or grid. But most of the time in the summertime when it's, doesn't matter the tide, I'll be out in the chest deep water.
Yeah, for me, when I'm on the beach, especially like at Daytona, there's a lot of times you can't hunt in the water. I mean, you can get in maybe up knee deep, and a lot of times because of the heavy surf. But I'm not a dry sander. It drives me insane, and believe me, it's a short drive. So wet sand in the surf and out around knee deep Yeah, that's how I hunt them.
Yeah, I just noticed that a lot of detectors down there were hunting up a lot further up near the wall, and
And you get a lot of trash there, especially. Um, I've always found that, and I've really never found much really good stuff up there. You know, you find a few coins, but I'm pretty much going for the good stuff. And we
For the
do
good
have the winner. Sam Truckley did text, so now they must have do an email. And what they must do is they must go to your website, and they need to pick out the item that they want and send that and the serial number, item number to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com with the item number, the item, name, address, phone number, and I will get that to Ryan and he can get your prize out to you.
we'll get it out.
Hey,
I mean,
Ryan, you saw.
Ryan gives it away. As soon as he gets the email, it's out. So you'll have it too sweet, let me tell you.
Ryan, you mentioned about the hunting up by the wall. I was just reading the live stream, and Joe 4077 says they were finding a lot of silver coins up by the wall, and I think that was after those storms last year.
Mhm.
that
We found a lot of silver because there was a lot of major beach erosion, and even they lost some houses and stuff in that area.
Yeah, it was pretty wild there. Even where we were staying, there was a couple hotel walls and stuff that were collapsed, and there was the one hotel, the pool. The pool was like broken in half. So yeah, there was a lot of. I'm sure there was a lot of erosion.
Oh yeah,
so
there's
that-
tons of trash, tons of trash. Yeah, that's where they were finding it because you could see on the seawall where the paint line was,
Mhm.
and there was probably 3 to 4 feet of sand gone after the hurricane. At least 3 to 4 feet. That's why they were finding all the silver.
Yeah. So all the sand had left, and the heavy targets were probably right there by the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to somebody down there, and they said I can't remember the exact number of how many people were down there after those storms, but it was a staggering number of detectorists that were
Yeah.
down there looking for all the good stuff.
Well, when we go down there every day, we can pretty much count probably 15 or 20 other looters on the beach. You know, so it's pretty busy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But there's still, like I said, I probably dug, I don't know, like half a dozen junk rings and like a ton of coins.
Yeah,
So
but that,
you never get it all, like
well,
even though
the thing of it is, that's all you dig with rings anymore. Junk. Nobody's buying anything good.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and gold, I think, has been hovering around 2,000 an ounce. So there's going to be a lot more people buying junk rings too. Titanium, stainless, tungsten,
Cobalt. Yeah.
gold being that high.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I personally, it's not political. I just think we spend so much money that the value of gold has gone up. Our dollar isn't worth as much.
Yeah, luckily I got my home turf where I detect. It's most of the gold we're finding it's older, right? So we get a few fresh drops, but the majority of the stuff that we're digging is 50, 60, 70 years old. So there's still plenty of it around us. So we're fortunate that we're not going to run out anytime soon.
Well,
Yeah, well, is that stuff you're diving for, or is that walking on the beach?
This time of year, like after the storms, because we have like even the last few years, the storms have been incredible. The amount of wave action and erosion and stuff like that. So we've just kind of lost all of our snow and ice and that off the beaches here now. So we can get out. The beginning of the year, you might get lucky. You can find some really old coins, and that's early in the year. And then later on, we'll be out diving. And same thing, the whole bottom formation changes every season because of the winter storms and the ice. It pushes stuff and moves it around. You wouldn't believe it unless you were down there to see the storms in the winter.
Yeah, I can imagine. You know, we get some when a hurricane comes through here, we get some pretty massive surge, and I imagine ice melt and that kind of thing could do the same thing.
Yeah, we had a crazy ice storm this year as well too, and like the houses along there. If you look it up online, there was a lot of house pictures and that were in the news, but they were just coated with like 2 feet of ice. It was nuts.
Yeah, and that's real heavy on a house. I imagine it could collapse the house with the weight.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of downed trees and houses and damage and power lines and all that. Yeah, it was something.
Awesome. All righty. Well, tell us some of your favorite gold you found this past year.
Didn't have much. Didn't. We were too busy in the shop to get out and get the detecting in. I got a few gold rings. There was no showstoppers this year. So hopefully this season we can get out a lot more and get a lot more diving in.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You find most of your gold rings when you're diving, don't you, Ryan?
Yeah, 99%. That's the key. That's the key to finding gold is it's in the water.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that many years ago when I was detecting. I first started detecting, and I might have told this story before. I started detecting when I was young, but when I first started doing beach detecting, I was just doing the beach up and down. And I was talking to an older gentleman, and I said, "Oh, I've never found a gold ring." And he was like, "If you want a gold ring, you got to go in the water." So the next day, I took my land machine in the water, and they said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I was just in the shallow water, but the first time I went in the water, I found a gold ring, and then that was it. I was hooked."
That was it. It was off to the
That was
races.
it. That
So
was
then you
it.
went and got your next caliber, right?
No, back then I bought a Fisher. Traded in white, bought a Fisher.
Okay, that's a good detector for sure.
Yeah,
Which model was it?
it was 1280.
1280. Okay.
Yeah, and I've still got it.
Yeah.
I've got I've got most of my machines, most of my water machines. I've still got my 1280. I've got my original Xcal Bluetooth. Tesoro. I've got a couple Tesoro. And then all the new machines too. But yeah, that's the key is, anybody that's trying to find gold is push yourself out into the water a little bit. Majority of the gold is lost in the water.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's the less competition in the water too, personally. I mean, there's still a lot of competition, but less in the water.
Less competition, I find, it's less trash. It's easier, like, especially diving. It's a lot easier for target recovery. It's just, I think it's the best.
Are you using any kind of a hookah outfit like a Nemo or anything, Ryan?
No, I've got a hookah and a dredge and stuff like that I haven't used for years, like a gas powered. We used to use that off the boat, but mostly just tanks. We'll take tanks out, but now, I see like all these electric hookahs and that. There was a new one that came out that's just on Kickstarter there, but I think that's again going to be a great development in technology is these, streamlined electric systems where, especially for traveling, because that's the biggest problem when we go away is getting tanks and getting fills and stuff like that on the ports. So that'll be perfect.
And that's what we find with the Nemo, the Blue Nemo. Blue Nemo's for down to 10 feet, and then the Nomad, I think, goes down to 35 or 45.
I think it's 40, 45 maybe.
I thought
However,
it was 45 feet, yeah.
They did a safety recall on those, so I don't know where we're at on that, but I haven't sold it.
I just talked to Blake, and they're about through that.
Yeah.
And he's going to be on, I think, April.
Yeah.
And he's going to explain all that.
Okay. All right. Well,
There's a lot of safety stuff you have to be careful with when you're diving and detecting, and you got to concentrate on the diving, and the detecting is kind of secondhand.
Right.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Well, looks like that hour is gone, Jeff.
It is indeed. It flies by.
It does. It really does. So, Brian, I wanted to thank you for coming on with us and talking about Anderson products. And Jeff, thank you, my friend. And Jocelyn, thank you for helping me out. She's not feeling too well, so I'm glad she came down with me tonight. But I wanted to thank you again, Ryan, for coming on with us and sharing your wisdom.
Well, thanks for having me. I always enjoy to come on and talk anything detecting. And thanks to all the customers and that. It's been great the last few years, and appreciate it.
Well, Ryan, we just can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to spend with us. We want to thank you ever so much for the kind gestures with the giveaways. I mean, it's always top notch with Anderson. It's, like we say, it's quality and innovation at Anderson. It is. And you step up to the plate every time. And we just want to thank you for that. And thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks, Phil. Thanks, Jocelyn. Thanks, everybody. And remember, look tomorrow for the giveaway for next week when it's Team Nocta. Because Dillick is going to be here. Burrock's going to be here. Dwight's going to be here. And the Siren Kimmy is going to be here. And we are giving away a Legend with the Bluetooth headphones. And Dillick is going to have some kind of a surprise giveaway. I don't even know what it is yet myself. Awesome. So look for the video tomorrow for the entry and get entered and make sure that you are here. So Ryan, thanks, buddy. It's always just a great time to spend some time with you. Good luck in everything that you do, and happy hunting, everybody, and good evening to all.
Good night, guys. Happy hunting.